Good morning, children. In this lesson of Story of Microorganisms Part 2, you are going to learn about the microorganisms are friends or foes. That means, or they are useful to us as friends or they are enemies to us. That means they are harmful to us. Foes means enemies, isn't it? So, are they harmful to us? That we are going to see here. So, in this lesson, part of the lesson, it comprises both useful microorganisms and harmful microorganisms. Now, in today's class, we'll deal some of the topics of useful microorganisms. Mainly, the topic includes in useful microorganisms how the microorganisms helpful to us in our daily life in preparation of the some of the foodstuffs, that is making of curd, preparation of idli, dosa and bread and cake. So how which bacteria or the molds that helps us for the preparation of these food items. Next, microorganisms, their usage in the commercial purpose. So how they are commercially used, that is in the preparation of alcohol, they are being used, isn't it? So how it is used and the medicinal use. So some of the antibiotics are being produced by the microorganisms and they cure some of the diseases, dreadful diseases. So how they are useful to us? So how, what are antibiotics? What are the different antibiotics that were produced? What is the discovery of antibiotics? Who discovered antibiotics for the first time? So what are the different antibiotics that we use? Are antibiotics safe to us or not? Can we use the antibiotics regularly? What is about antibiotics that is being dealt in this part of the lesson. Next, discovery of antibiotics also it comes here. Next, coming to the vaccines. So what are vaccines? What are the different types of vaccines developed? Who developed the vaccines for the first time? So these are the terms that we go on learn in this chapter of in this chapter about the vaccine and how the vaccines were discovered, who discovered the vaccine, everything we'll be discussing in this point. Next, coming to the soil microorganisms, how they are helpful for the farmer or they are, so microorganisms or friends to the farmers, we say how they are helpful, how they help to increase the fertility of the soil, everything will be dealt in this point of soil microorganisms. Next, coming to the compost pit. This also is a generally to increase the fertility of the soil we use this pit. So what is this? We are going to learn. So in this useful microorganisms, we are going to deal with these 9 terms, that is the concepts that we are going to complete here in useful microorganisms. Next we'll deal with the harmful microorganisms where the different where they cause the different diseases to us, to human beings as well as the animals and also the plants. In fact, microorganisms are also useful to human beings, plants and animals and also harmful to the human beings, plants and animals. So how they are useful and how they are harmful we are going to learn in this chapter, and who developed this antibiotics and the vaccines against the dreadful diseases that are caused by the microorganisms is being learnt in this chapter. Okay children, be ready to start with this terms of useful microorganisms. Okay, ready? Let's start. Now, see children, here the first activity here that we see, that conversion of milk into curd. Here we are using the microorganisms, isn't it? So the microorganisms, how they are useful in changing the milk into curd. Here, in changing milk into curd, what are the microorganisms that helped? We see here. See here in this activity we are taking 2 bowls. 2 bowls we are taking. In 2 bowls you have taken the lukewarm milk, that is gorvechani palu we say. Lukewarm. So that milk you are being taking in both the bowls, and in after 3 to 5 you are adding a few drops of buttermilk or curd in one of the bowl. This is first bowl and this is second bowl. So here in the second bowl you have added the few drops of milk, and in this you did not add anything. So now after 5 to 6 hours, what is your observation? You have to find it. So what is your observation? What changes did you observe? Here the milk has been converted into curd. What is the change that you observe? In bowl 2, milk converted to or change it to curd, isn't it? That is the observation we found. And what is the reason for this? The reason is that the milk, so it has changed to the curd because of the action of lactobacillus, the bacteria. So the bacteria, the curd or buttermilk contains lactobacillus bacterium. Curd or buttermilk, it contains lactobacillus bacterium. Lactobacillus bacterium. So which helps to convert the milk into curd. So it changes, this bacteria lactobacillus changes milk into curd. That is the answer you have to write. Is it clear? So here the milk converted to curd, it becomes solid form into and the fermentation which takes place due to the action of the lactobacillus bacteria or bacterium. So this is the reason for the conversion of milk into curd. In fact, you have to write the answer in such a manner. Next, we will move to the next activity about the preparation of bread or cakes, how the fermentation process takes place. How is the bread is very soft? Why is it so soft? Or the cakes, they are very soft, isn't it? What is the reason? So in this activity 2, you are going to take maida. Is it clear? In a bowl, you are going to take a maida and you are making it into a dough, strong dough by adding water to it. So you have taken maida and prepared a dough by adding water. Sufficient levels of water. You know the differences between the batter and the dough. Batter is loose consistency whereas the dough is not so. Is it clear? So you prepared a dough with the maida and in another one also you have taken, you added the yeast. Is it clear, children? In one of them you added the yeast to the dough. Is it clear? So yeast is added to one of it. And in the other it is not added. Okay. While adding the yeast to one of the bowl containing the maida dough with maida dough, you can see the observation that after some times it has been raised up. Is it clear, children? It has been raised up. Why is it so? Fermentation process has taken place here in the bowl too. Fermentation process has been taken place. Okay, that has been occurred. So it has been raised. Dough raised up due to fermentation. Is it clear, children? So that is the reason why the bread or the cakes will be so soft. So bread or the cakes made of the maida where the yeast is being added, it will be bread or cakes will be soft. Okay. Due to the addition of this yeast, where the fermentation process takes place and here the carbon dioxide gas is being released from the dough. So it helps to increase the volume of the dough, that is increase the volume and it makes it so soft. So here what happens, the volume of the batter or the dough increases. The volume of dough increases by addition of the yeast. By adding yeast to dough, okay, yeast, and it becomes soft. That is, the dough becomes soft after cooking. Is it clear, children? So that is the case in the second activity that we are doing. In next we'll move towards the commercial use of the microorganisms. Okay, children, note down the questions. Okay, children, these are the questions that are asked in the activity 2. See, what changes you observe in the dough? The changes, that is when yeast is added to the dough for preparing the bread, the dough raises and increases its volume. That is when you add the yeast and keep it and leave it for 3 to 4 hours or 5 hours, it increases its volume. Why is it so? Because the carbon dioxide gas is released from it and during the process of fermentation process, and these bubbles of gas fill the dough and increase its volume and make the dough soft. Is it clear, children? So that is the reason for the increase in volume of the dough during the preparation of the bread or dosa or cake or idli. So this generally your mother also may be preparing the batter of idli or dosa the previous day to be done the next day for the next day breakfast, isn't it? So she normally prepares the dosa and idli batter the previous day itself in order to get fermented. So that is the reason during the fermentation process what happens, the yeast develops and increases its volume. Okay, it makes the useful mold that helps us to get the soft texture of the food item. Is it clear, children? Okay. Next activity about the commercial use of the, it's about the commercial use of microorganisms. Commercial use of microorganisms. What is it? Commercially, how the microorganisms are used in the preparation of alcohol. How the alcohol is prepared. Preparation of alcohol. What is it? So that we are going to see now here. Okay, ma? See the commercial use of microorganisms in the preparation of alcohol, children. For this video is simple experiment. For the preparation of alcohol, you are going to take a simple 2 beakers you are taking, and you are seeing that in the 2 beakers you are taking the sugar. So 5 to 10 spoons of sugars in one beaker and the same amount of 5 to 10 spoons of sugar in another beaker, and adding 2 to 3 spoons of yeast in one of the beaker but leaving the other as it is. And after 3 to 4 hours, if you smell it, if you smell one of them, you can see that the beaker which contains the yeast, that is the second beaker here, it will get the smell odor. You can feel the odor in it. Here you cannot feel any odor after 3 to 4 hours, but here you smell some difference. You can feel here, you can have an odor from this beaker. Why is it so? What is the reason for this? So here what happened, the fermentation process has been taken place. What happened? Here during this fermentation of the yeast, it has developed into the alcohol. That is, what is fermentation? Sugars are converted into alcohol here. Did you understand, children? So this is the main process that is taken place in the wine industries, that is preparation of alcohol industries. The sugars are being converted into alcohol, where yeast is the main part which is taking place in fermentation process. It helps for fermentation process. Fermentation process. Is it clear, children? So now we'll answer the questions that are given there. What difference did you observe between the 2 balls? In between the 2 balls, what is the difference that you observe, children? That the odor is found, or you feel the odor. That is it. Odor. You get odor from the beaker with yeast mixed with sugar, isn't it? Yeast mixed with sugar, but not in the beaker with only 5 to 10 spoons of sugar along with water. Sorry ma, you have to add water also to it. Along with the water you have to add to the sugar, and you make the sugar solution. To this you are adding the yeast. Okay, children, so that the fermentation process takes place. Is it clear, children? So that is about the preparation of alcohol. We'll see the next question. What is it? What will be the reason for the odor in the yeast here? Note it down. Note down the reason, children. See here, children. So here we have seen the questions. The difference is that the odor from the beaker with we get the odor from the beaker which is mixed with the sugar with the yeast. We get the smell of the alcohol over there. That is, what will be the reason for the odor in the second? The yeast mixed with the mixed bowl means sugars are converted into alcohol by the in the process of fermentation. Is it clear, children? So the process of conversion of sugars into alcohol, and this process is called as fermentation. You know it, isn't it? So this has been taken place. All the sugars normally when added with the yeast, they convert into the alcohol. Okay, children? So that is the answer for this question. So what are the sugars that can be converted into alcohol? What are the yeast? How the yeast is grown? We have to see. So yeast is grown in natural sugars present in grains. All the sugars, yeast is being grown. So yeast is grown in all sugars. Like you can take rice, barley, wheat, and also you get from the some of the fruits like grape wine, etc. Fruits also you get wine. Is it clear? So there are different alcoholic that is industrially the manufactured alcohols like beer, wine, or acetic acid. These are all being of commercial use of the yeast. We can say that as the microorganisms are being used for the commercial purpose. If you are asked about the commercial use of microorganisms, you have to, in fact, you have to say about the preparation of alcohol, and also you can say about the usage of the different fruit juices or the rice, barley, wheat also, which are converted into wine. Okay, children? So that you can do for this question. Next. Okay, children, see here. In the preparation of alcohol, the molasses that is produced in the sugar industry is used to prepare ethyl alcohol. Okay, my children, that is sugar. You may see the foul smell when you are moving towards the sugar industries, isn't it? Sugarcane juices that are produced and the sugar that is produced from the factories, sugar factories, you can see the molasses, the foul smell that arises. It's due to the release of the alcohol. Okay, that is ethyl alcohol that is being produced. A conversion of the sugar into alcohol takes place over there. That's the smell that occurs through when you are moving towards the sugar factories and so on. Now we'll see about the medicinal use of the microorganisms. How the medicines are produced through the microorganisms. The bacteria that are used in production of the some of them antibiotics. What are antibiotics? The next topic is about the antibiotics. Antibiotics are generally when you are suffering from fever or any wounds that occur on your body or accidents, you may normally use the antibiotics that are prescribed by the doctor, isn't it? So these antibiotics are generally produced by growing the microorganisms. Is it clear, children? So these antibiotics are of different types that you are growing, that you are using. They are penicillin, tetracycline, streptomycin, erythromycin. So you might have been heard these names while using, isn't it? So what is this? What do they get? Usually you use the microorganisms to treat certain diseases that occur to our body, like typhoid that is occurred due to the Salmonella typhi bacteria, gonorrhea, septicemia, which is called as blood poisoning. So it is a blood poisoning. So these are occurred due to the bacterial diseases that occur. So they are being prevented by using the antibiotics. In fact, the use of antibiotics should be done only in need, that is under the prescription of the doctor itself. Unless and until the doctor prescribes, you should not continuously use the antibiotics. If you use the antibiotics, what happens? Unnecessary usage or extra usage or excess usage of antibiotics leads to some problems. What are there? We see here. See here the board, ma. So this affects the blood cells. It affects the blood cells that fight the infections. Normally our body contains the antibodies that fight against the disease causing germs. So the germs will be fighting. They get resistance against these antibiotics and they fight and they win, and so we will be not being thrown out of the disease. So it affects the blood cells that fight the infections. So the blood cells, when they are affected, we are prone to disease. So we should not unnecessarily use the antibiotics without the prescription of the doctor. Here what happens, how does it affect the blood cells means they kill the bacteria that is present in that fights the disease causing germs, and they develop the resistance to the antibiotics. Is it clear, children? So that is the case that happens with the excess use of the antibiotics. Next, coming to the excess usage. If you use antibiotics more and more, it weakens our body also. So that you should use the antibiotics only in need. Next, we'll see about the discovery of antibiotics. How the antibiotics were discovered. Okay, children, note down this. Children, discovery of antibiotics. The first antibiotics that was ever discovered was by the Alexander Fleming, Dr. Alexander Fleming in 1929. So he discovered the penicillin, the first antibiotic, while he was working about the bacterial colonies in his lab, because he was an army doctor and he seen so many soldiers died of some bacterial infection when they were infected in the war with their wounds. So he was working with the bacterial colonies in his lab. While doing so, he found certain molds has developed over the bacteria which killed the bacterial colonies. He saw them, and this fungi or the mold that developed over the bacteria inhibit the growth of these bacterial colonies. So he used the substances that released from that fungi, he used in the other bacterial disease that causing diseases, he added to it. When he added to it, it also killed that bacteria. And the first he known that fungus, that bacteria, that substance which was produced from that fungus as to be Penicillium notatum. Note down it, ma. The fungus, the name was Penicillium notatum. The substance which was produced from the fungus is called as the penicillin, is named as penicillin. That is from the Penicillium notatum which was produced. The substance that was produced is called as penicillin. So the first antibiotic name was given as penicillin. Okay, children, so this is about the antibiotics. Antibiotics are produced by the microorganisms, or the substances that killed the bacteria were named as antibiotics by Dr. Alexander Fleming. He also said that the excessive use of antibiotics is dangerous to our health, and you should not, it is not that our body can prevent the diseases without taking the antibiotics. That is, if antibiotics are taken continuously, they stop only the growth of microorganism for a certain period of time or temporarily. But our body should develop the disease resistance capacity by taking the good food habits and also keeping the premises clean and so on. So you know the different activities that you have to perform to keep our health in a good conditions, preventing the diseases. So that is the case of the discovery of the antibiotics by Sir Alexander Fleming, and so many with this discovery, so many other antibiotics also have been paved the way to discovered, and aureomycin, erythromycin, streptomycin, so several antibiotics were being discovered in the later time. Okay, children, in the next class we'll see about the vaccines. Okay, have a good day. Do the topic that I have covered today. Okay, ma?